try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, that's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession, all in his possession. You got their attention, I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. I'm your host, Big C. Again, I'm still experiencing these audio issues, so I apologize for how this sounds. I'm trying to get it figured out, but again, I am not computer literate. I got someone coming to take a look at it hopefully soon, so I do apologize. I feel horrible. I'm very embarrassed about how this is all going down, and I apologize 100%. I always want to give you guys the best quality content I can, and this isn't it, and I do apologize. Am I sounding all right? I know it's not the best right now, but can you hear me? Can you understand me? Am I sounding all right? I know it's not the greatest quality, but can you understand me? Can you hear me okay? Good morning, Craig, Bonnie, Dolphin Don, Shake, Aqua. Glenn, what's up? What's up? Yeah, I do apologize. Like, I hate it. It's so embarrassing to me that I gotta go through this, and I've tried every different thing, and then I get it to sound good, and then I go to replay it, and it'll sound good it'll sound good, and then all of a sudden it just goes bad. And then I thought I had it set up to go live, and I go to click in the StreamYard, and I can't hear anything through my headset. I don't know what's going on. But I do apologize. Again, Tyreek Hill in the news. And lots of times I think, sometimes we gotta take responsibility as fans, and I think the media and these podcasters definitely take responsibility too. Because even when Tyreek isn't necessarily doing something, there's someone out there putting some BS to his name, throwing out some kind of rumor, and with the BS that Tyreek pulls, plus everybody else with their rumors and their stuff, it does make it nauseating. It does make it nauseating. It does make it where you just don't want to hear about it anymore. You know what I mean? I I just don't get where people come up with these crazy rumors, And I understand, people want clicks, that people want views, people will do the clickbait thing, you know what I mean? But like someone that's got 70,000 subscribers shouldn't have to be out there doing that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Like just making up asinine rumors. I don't think that's the case at all. I think he'll be fine. He'll be able to catch passes. It won't be that big an issue. Maybe he should have had it a little bit sooner. Yeah, sure. But we don't have any idea what those doctors said about how long he had to wait to have the second surgery. We're just making up agendas. We're making up, situations in our head that we don't know if are true or not. You know what I mean? So obviously, most of you, if you're a YouTube person like me, I watch a ton of YouTube. I'm not gonna lie. There was pictures posted. I thought I had it downloaded. Let me see if I can get it real quick. So Tyreek had a second surgery on his wrist, the wrist that that was bothering him all last season. You know what I mean? That nobody gives him credit for playing through the injury. It wasn't a fake injury. He didn't make it up. You know what I mean? But nobody gives Tyreek credit for that. They're just concerned about that Week 18 game against the New York Jets that was a meaningless game. And again, I do not condone his actions. I do not. But I understand getting frustrated because I've been frustrated. I've been to a point in a situation where, that I didn't put my best foot forward and I've made mistakes that aren't necessarily my character. You understand? He's a competitor. He was frustrated in Week 18. He's seen the scoreboard, I'm assuming. He's seen that the Broncos were destroying the Kansas City Chiefs, that the Kansas City Chiefs were making no effort to win that game. And, he finally said, screw it. He's frustrated with the season. He's frustrated with his quarterback not being able to stay healthy. He was frustrated with Mike McDaniel's game plan. He was frustrated that he's such a talented player and they couldn't get the ball in his hands, that they didn't have a competent backup quarterback. Take all of them things into account and tell me that you want to be somebody frustrated. See, Scotty, that's one of them fake, them narratives that I was talking about. Exactly that Pittsburgh narrative that Chat Sports tries to throw out there that has no credibility. If anything, Mike Tomlin would stay so far away from Tyreek Hill, it wouldn't even be funny. Exactly, Glenn. He'll be like, everybody makes a big deal about it, but nobody knows the truth. Oh, well, why he waits so long? Oh, listen, these guys can't do much on the field right now anyway. You know what I mean? These guys can't do much on the field right now anyway. So is it that huge a deal? Is it really that huge a deal? He'll be fine when it matters. He'll be all right when push comes to shove and it's time to practice, when it's time to get going. These players don't really technically have to be ready until, joint practices. When joint practices start, that's when it's important. So, I just feel like people are always, they got to add narratives. And Tyreek puts himself in bad situations enough that we don't have to do that for him. We don't have to make up these situations and make a bigger deal out of something because Tyreek does it to himself enough. We don't got to pile on. And again, I understand if you're upset with Tyreek for what he did last year. I get it. I understand that 100%. Big C, I keep telling you, Chat Sports is a conglomeration. These guys have to follow scripts. Subscribers and viewers are purchased. Headlines are set standard. You can find Chat Sports on so many other. Yeah, I know, and that's exactly who I was calling out, who I was talking about, is that they made a suggestion because they traded Pickens, a troubled wide receiver, to the Dallas Cowboys, that now that they're in desperate need of a receiver, they should trade for Tyreek Hill. Listen, Tyreek Hill, his role model, his favorite wide receiver of all time is Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown. You think they're going to bring in Tyreek? You think they're going to bring in Tyreek to act like Antonio Brown does? Like, come on. Come on. What up, Cap? If he doesn't really want to be here, if he truly doesn't want to be here, then yeah, I mean, figure it out. Figure it out. If he wholeheartedly doesn't want to be here, then figure it out. But again, because he didn't put Tua in his top 5, listen, he didn't lie. He didn't lie. Tua's not a top 5 quarterback. Now, should he maybe have kept his mouth shut? Maybe. But that's not Tyreek. Tyreek needs to have the attention on him at all times. Tyreek is an attention seeker. If the attention is not on Tyreek going to figure out a way to make the attention on him. So that's Tyreek after his second surgery. Like I said, like Len said, it doesn't take long to recover from the surgery he had. He'll be fine when the games start. And you know, if the Miami Dolphins come out and they can be successful and things start going right, I don't see why he wouldn't be happy. I don't see why he wouldn't be happy. If Tua can stay upright, get the ball in Tyreek's hands, this new offensive line, they can listen. This team is built differently. They got some dogs in this draft. They got some big physical players in this draft that are not gonna, we're trying to move away from that soft narrative. And I think this draft did a great job in taking a step forward. You understand? Pittsburgh is probably going to bring in Rodgers, so bringing in Hill is no different. Yeah, I don't necessarily know about that. Tyreek has to have a good season so he can get guaranteed money next year. Yeah, Tyreek is playing for another contract. I mean, Tua's not top 5. That's and I'm a Tua fan. I'm not a Tua hater. I'm a Tua fan. I've said it over and over again, and I'll continue to say it. The only reason that I think Tua should not be the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins is because of his health. That is the only reason. And I know he hasn't performed the greatest when it's counted, but I think the potential's there to do it. The kid, he's not an old man. Like, he still has time. He still has time. And I don't believe this team was ever correctly built around him. Besides 2023. And we'll never know how that team how they would have finished if the whole team wouldn't have got injured. Oh, yeah. Whichever team does trade for Tyreek has to put into consideration that you got to pay this man $35, $40 million a year next year. It's not going to be cheap. You're going to have to pay him $40 million a year next year. So like we had said, George Pickens had been traded to the Dallas Cowboys. This is what the trade had looked like. The Steelers received a 2026 third-round pick, a 2027 fifth-round pick. the Cowboys received wide receiver George Pickens and a 2026 6th-round pick. So basically Pickens got traded for a 3rd-round pick. Basically. Now, what is, if Pickens gets traded for a 3rd-round pick, what does that make Tyreek Hill's, what's that Tyreek's value then? And I understand George Pickens is a lot younger. But George Pickens is not the receiver that Tyreek Hill is. Let's keep it real. And yeah, Tyreek Hill's contract's a lot bigger. I get that too. But you think that the Miami Dolphins should be able to get more than what the Pittsburgh Steelers got for George Pickens. Do I think they will? No, I don't think they wouldn't. I don't think they would in a trade. I don't think they would. I don't think they would. But listen, Pickens has had some great moments. He's had some great catches. But listen, I watched that man drop 5 or 6 passes in a row from Russell Wilson last year in a critical game, and he just stunk up the place. He was terrible. He was terrible. I think he's got good potential, but he's too much of a diva. He's too much of a head case. He hasn't earned the right to be that player. He hasn't earned the right to be that type of diva. Man. Tyreek brings drama, but sort of George Pickens got traded. You don't trade a 24-year-old talented young receiver that's only making $3.6 million and you're in need of receivers. You don't trade that type of player unless they have an issue. What up, Dolphin gang? They traded him because he's an issue. George Pickens is no longer a Pittsburgh Steeler because he's an issue. Cowboys severely overpaid for Pickens. I guess, Scotty. I think a 4th rounder would have been, probably. I think a 4th would have been better. But Pickens has potential. Pickens has number 1 potential. He just needs to get his head out of his own ass. He needs to get his head out of his own ass. Yeah, and I would say he is average right now, but I think he has the potential to be really good. I don't know about necessarily a number 1 receiver, but I think he could be a top 2 receiver. Yeah, I understand. You don't think Dallas is going to try to extend him on the cheap? The guy hasn't done anything. I don't know if Dallas would trade away the 3rd-round pick with no intention of re-signing him. I think Dallas got to be thinking that they're going to have an opportunity to re-sign him and bring him back on a team-friendly deal. Maybe it's not a long deal. Maybe it's a short deal, but I'm guaranteeing that Dallas is banking on the fact that George Pickens can't really complain and act like he's the man because he's lined up across the field from CeeDee Lamb, and obviously CeeDee Lamb is the clear-cut number 1 receiver on that team. Oh, they already said that? That's crazy that it was said. You know what I mean? Like, usually teams don't come out and say that type of stuff. Usually teams don't necessarily come out and say that type of stuff, which makes no sense because Dallas isn't competing for that division. Pickens is a nice piece, and do I think it makes the Dallas Cowboys better? Yeah, if Pickens can, like I said, take his head out of his own ass, I think it makes Dallas better. But it doesn't make them a competitor in the NFC East. They're not competing with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. So I don't think Dallas makes the playoffs this year. So why go trade a third round pick for a 1 year rental when you know what I mean? That's something that you do if you're all in. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're one player away from winning the Super Bowl, if you think he's the missing piece. Well, other than that, that's a foolish move then. That's a foolish move. Yeah, nobody's going to pay Pickens, though, unless he proves it, unless he can keep his nose clean, and unless he has a decent season. So, yeah. Cat for Life, ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports the Steelers remain in contact with Aaron Rodgers and are hopeful that he will be a Steeler. Yeah, I mean, Aaron didn't have as bad a season as everybody wanted to let on that he did last year. Was he the Aaron Rodgers of old, the MVP Aaron Rodgers? No, but he was decent. He was decent. Does that make the Steelers a Super Bowl contender? No, not in my opinion. Not my opinion. But will Aaron Rodgers be an upgrade over Russell Wilson? Yeah. He definitely makes the Pittsburgh Steelers better than what they were last year. They're linked to bring in Lazard. Isn't Lazard still on the Jets? Yeah, Scotty, if that's the case, then yeah, absolutely. I didn't realize that. I thought that they were gonna try to extend them at the very least. So yeah, I mean, if for a 1 year rental, yeah, absolutely, that's all. Hell yeah, that's an overpay. The only way it's not an overpay is if, like I said, it's that final piece that you feel like can put you over the top to win a Super Bowl. Gabe Davis. Gabe's had some big games. Obviously, that game against Kansas City in the playoffs was he had a monster game. He's a big physical receiver. I wouldn't mind seeing him here in Miami. Uh Obviously I don't think the Dolphins make a move on him, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe. I think it'd be smart. I'd have liked to have seen us bring Mac Hollins back. What Mac Hollins? I just like that dude, man. He's a weird dude, but I like him. Bring in Davis and trade Hill. Run with Waddle, Davis, Westbrook, and Malik. Ugh. So man, I just can't co-sign it, brother. I just can't co-sign it. Morning, Cosa Nostra. I can't co-sign it, man. I love me some Tyreek, man. He just, man, when he catches that ball and he start just moving his little body around, man, you don't know, you know what I mean? You get that excitement inside you. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be upset, Scotty, 100%. Because he just brings so much joy and excitement to me, man. Every time he touches the ball, like there's that possibility. And I'm not ready to give that up. Maybe I'm in denial. I'm like a drug addict with this Tyreek Hill, I guess, but I'm not ready, man. He's been the most exciting player the Miami Dolphins have had since Ricky Williams, man. Every time Ricky touched the ball, I felt that Ricky could take it to the house. And I haven't felt like that since, you know what I mean? So two players I felt like that with in the last, 40 years of being a fan. You were obsessed with midgets. Denial ain't just a real Egyptian. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. But yeah, and I listen. Not to mention, I think that this team can still be really. If we could, it kills me that Jalen Ramsey still wants out so badly. And I understand he's got issues with the coach and stuff. But does Jalen Ramsey not realize that this team has potential with the moves that we've made? And yeah, we weren't aggressive in free agency. We didn't make no big time moves except signing James Daniels from the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I think we had a successful draft. I think we got some big physical players that won't allow us to get pushed around up front no more on both sides of the ball. I think Jonah and Daniels are going to take this offense they can take this offense to the next level. And on the defensive side of the ball, you add those pass rushers to the big boys we added up front. Oh, man. Jordan Brooks back another year. Dotson back in the middle another year. Chop Robinson hopefully takes a step forward. We got some safeties that hopefully actually give some effort. I don't think our safeties are as talented as the safeties we had last year with Javon Allen and Jordan Poyer, but I think they'll give more effort than those boys did. And Scotty, that'd be nice. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I just feel like we're way more dangerous with Tyreek on the field. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to still be a fan of the Miami Dolphins. I was a fan before Tyreek got here. I'll be a fan after he leaves, and I guess we'll see. You know what I mean? I guess we'll see. But, yeah, Tyreek continues to stay in the news. He had surgery. He posted it. People will make a bigger deal out of it than what it is, but don't feed into people's narratives. This is an issue where Tyreek Hill did something wrong, but that's the way people will put it out there. That's the way that people will put it out there. And the fact that Chat Sports tried to throw Tyreek in, into another trade rumor, be better. Be better. Don't make shit up just to make shit up. He's not a fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They just moved on from one headache receiver, one diva receiver. Why would they add another? Why would they add Antonio Brown's mini-me? Legit, Antonio Brown is Tyreek Hill's number one receiver of all time. If you ask Tyreek Hill who the best receiver of all time is, he says Antonio Brown. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. But let's take a look at the Dolphins. The league has started this thing it's called the rivalry jersey, I guess, where the Miami Dolphins, I think once a year, get to add a jersey to their uniform collection. They get to wear it at home. I'm pretty sure it's only once a year. I don't know if the AFC East is the only division do it. I think 2 divisions are doing it this year. They won't wear them at the same time as the other team, so it's one home game. And there's a bunch of different options the Miami Dolphins could go with. And, a lot of them are ugly, and I can't get on board with. But, some are pretty cool, and I wouldn't mind seeing on a part-time basis. Obviously, I'd love for the throwback jerseys to make a comeback, be our full-time jerseys. I think we're actually eligible for that to happen here soon, if not already, which would be great. It better not have pink. I hate that look. Scotty, I think it 100% is going to have pink in it. I think that I'm going to discuss it here in a second. I love pink. Pink is my favorite color, especially hot pink. I was just always one of those dudes that go ahead and test me because I wear pink. Go ahead. You know what I mean? So I used to wear pink a lot, and pink just became my favorite color. But yeah, I definitely think pink is going to be in the color scheme, Scotty. And I'm going to explain why. So I kind of, these aren't necessarily in order, but I mean, they're kind of in order. I definitely am going to show you the ugliest ones first, not necessarily in a number 12, number 11, number 10, number 9, but the bad ones are going to be first, and the ones that I like the most will be up towards the top. So let's take a look at number 1 on the list, and I'd like you to try to remember maybe your top 3, and I'll number them. I think there's 12 versions. Now, the reason I say that pink's probably going to be in it because the Miami fans, the Miami sports teams have taken on this Miami Vice the 1980s Miami's, the pink with the, what color is it? Is it a bluish or is it a teal? But other sports teams in Miami have taken on the Miami Vice colors. We'll take a look at there's the Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade wearing the pink with it's like a bluish. I'm not exactly sure what the color is, but it's a bluish color. The Miami Heat, and then you got the Miami Marlins, the same color scheme. I think I don't think that color scheme is bad. I like it. I think it's kind of dope. It just reminds you of that 80s nightlife in Miami. I think it's pretty cool. So I'm not going to be mad at that. But let's take a look at number 1. Some of these are pretty hideous. Number 1 I got, this is 12. This is the ugliest. I can't get on board with it. I can't get on board with it. You got the teal pants, orange jersey, teal helmet. There's just too much color. There's too much color, in my opinion. I'm not that's way better than the pink. I mean, yeah, Scotty, people are gonna have different opinions. People got different, styles. This one to me, it's not necessarily even my least favorite. There's one that you're going to see here in a minute that I think is probably the worst. Shake Money says, I love it. I mean, it's kind of giving me Miami Hurricanes vibes a little bit. It's giving me kind of Miami Hurricane vibes a little bit. I mean, it's not the worst one. It's not the worst one, but I just feel like there's too much. I'd like a little white sprinkled in there, to be honest. Craig says orange shirt, orange pants. See, I don't like that neither. I need a little white. I need a little white tied in. Pink will make them look like pussies. Don't do that, Michael. Don't stereotype. What up, John? Lions God names, did they ever change the Miami Dolphins logo? I think it's horrible now. I wish they kept it original. Yeah, my favorite is the one from the 70s, maybe the early 80s. I seen Doug likes the cartoonish one from like the early 2000s. I'm not a big fan of that. But like to see a gray helmet with white logo. All right. So that's number 12. That's number 12. Try to keep in mind your top 3. This one, I think this one is the worst to me. I think this one's horrid. I don't like this one at all. It's just, you look like an Easter egg, in my opinion. I hate this one. I think they look like a straight Easter egg. Like the pink's not bright enough. It's just an Easter egg to me. It looks like an Easter egg. Oh, I wear the shit out of pink, Bonnie. Pink is legit. Pink is my favorite color. Michael says I like a black helmet. That's a Barbie uniform. 11. That's awful. Yeah, this is the worst one for me. This is the worst one for me. This one by far is the worst for me. Let's see. And then we got this one. I'm not a huge fan of this neither. This is pretty much just tweaking our colors just a tad bit from aqua and orange to this blue into the pink. I'm not a fan of this. I like, if you threw in some black in that, I would like it maybe more, but it's just not enough of a change. All you're really doing is turning the aqua to blue and the orange to green, pink. So I'm not a huge fan of this one. Not a huge fan of this one. This is number 10. Number 10. Looks like old Oilers. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely that blue, but instead of the red, it's got the pink. Now, I do like the throwback Houston Oilers jerseys. I do like those a lot. This one, I don't know what it is about this one that I don't really like. I don't really know what. I mean, I guess it's kind of modern. You got the two-tone helmet with the Aqua Dolphin. I mean, it's keeping true to our team colors. I mean, this ain't my favorite. That helmet is hideous. Bonnie says, I don't like number 10. This is number 9, right? Helmet and sleeves suck. Yeah, I think that's what I don't like about it too, is the helmet and the sleeve. Michael says, hell no. So this is number 9. And then they start getting better, in my opinion. Now, Scotty's obviously not going to like this one. And this isn't my favorite of the Miami Vice ones, but I'd be all right with it, I guess. This is that same style, just the colors are switched up. But I think it works better with this color scheme than it did with our traditional color scheme. I think this color scheme works better with it than our traditional color scheme. So it's the same as number 9, just with the Miami Vice color scheme, and I think this works better. It's still not my favorite, but I think it works better than our natural colors. And I like that the black is incorporated into the Miami Vice colors. Scotty said, I just puked in my mouth a little. Cat said, looks like a Pepsi can and a dolphin had a baby. Craig says, don't like it. Vice City can't fix a flying turd. If it's a night game, you can wear black, Scotty. And I think it probably will be a night game. I think it will be, because they'll want to showcase these jerseys. All right. What's that, number 8? So this is number 7. More of a traditional jersey, just with the Miami Vice colors. It's number 7. This one I don't mind. I mean, it's a shout out to our throwbacks with the modern Miami Vice theme to it. Michael says, love that one. You think we're going to get a primetime outside of Spain? I think we will. I think we'll get one. I think they're going to want to showcase these jerseys. I really do. Love the colors, but need a better design. But this is the throwback jerseys everybody loves. Bonnie says this one isn't bad. I lost track of the numbers. It's a 6. Then we got Tua with the white helmet in the black Miami Vice colors. I think I kind of like this one better than the last one. The last one was a little bit too much black. I like the white helmet, the light white pants with the black, and I think I like this one better than the last one. Again, these are the last one is probably my favorite that I'll show. The last one's probably my favorite. But I don't think this one's bad. I don't think this one's bad at all. Too much going on in this one. They're trying to mix pink and orange. What the fuck? Close enough for you better get used to it because one of these is probably going to be, there's probably a good chance that one of these is going to be an option that's very similar to it. Next, we got the all white with the Vice colors. I think this one looks decent. It's better than the all blue. And again, you guys are probably going to say Houston Oiler type look. And yeah, I get that. That's why I think I probably kind of like it a little bit. Again, it's not my favorite, but I think it's sleek. Those look like Bills unis. Bonnie says this is the best so far. Yeah, I don't mind this one either. I'm sure different people did, Scotty. Looks like a baby powder theme. I mean, I don't know if a jersey can make someone look weak. All right. And then these ones, the next few are a couple there are similar a little bit, minor tweaks to our normal uniforms, but see, I kind of like the orange face mask on this one. It's not much of a difference, but you got the orange face mask. The helmet's a little bit different. I like the orange face mask on this for some reason. Oh, I look like hell is one of myself. Yeah, it's just this one's just a minor change. It's kind of a throwback. You got the different socks. You got the face mask. The helmet is different. Glenn, GTA 6 looks badass. And they got the football jerseys, and they got the Miami Heat Stadium on there. The football team's called the Manatees instead of the Dolphins. They're the Manatees. But that GTA 6 looks like I can't wait for that shit to come out. Glenn, you play that? You play GTA 6 or 5? You play video games, Glenn? All right, let's go on to the next one. This is that orange crush with the orange face mask. I do like the orange face mask, I'm not going to lie. Again, this brings us back to the orange crush jersey, and which people weren't really a fan of. Make sure you hit that like button for me. We got 19 people in the building right now. I should have 19 likes, hopefully. So we got Jalen Waddle in the all orange with the orange face mask. JD the Great says, I like the orange jersey. Red Dead Redemption 2 is badass too, Glenn. I'm playing it again right now for like the 12th time. I'm going to look for Jack right now in Sandice. I'm going to look for Jack right now. I have a meeting with. Actually, I'm going to the graveyard for the Italian dude right now to get the grave robbers, so we can get Jack back. Cap says if the helmet was orange, I would rock it. See, I think that'd be too much orange in my opinion, Cap. What up, Miller? And then this is another version of the orange, the throwback with the, I like the aqua face mask here. I think it really pops. This is the orange crush. This is like the orange crush, but with the throwback jersey. Where this one with Jalen's wearing is like our modern jerseys. This is the throwback orange crush. But that aqua face mask really sticks out. I kind of like this one. Scotty, I think we are eligible now. I think we are. I kind of like this one. And then this one's no different. I downloaded it twice. And this one, for some reason, is my favorite. I don't know why. This one, the helmet is kind of weird. I think the helmet would need to be changed, but this one is my favorite personally. I just don't know what's going on with the helmet. But this is personally my favorite. I don't know what's going on with the helmet. It's like got our orange. Yeah, I just don't I need to see the helmet better at a different angle. Because it's got like the orange sunshine ring around it, but like I don't like where's the dolphin? Where I don't, you know what I mean? I don't understand it, I guess. You don't like them bright, vibrant colors, Cat? You don't like them bright, vibrant colors? I like it. I think it's bright. I think it's colorful. And it stays true to Miami's color scheme, maybe a little color pop. But I like it. I think it's decent. But I do think that we're going to end up getting the Miami Vice, the pink and the blue. And I think that's what it's going to be. Look like from Mars. Does Mr. Ross not like the Dolphins? I think he thinks he knows what the fans want, but in reality, he's not really on board. He's not really in it. But yeah, again, I apologize about the way the podcast sounds. I am working diligently to get it fixed. I want the Miami Vice just because it's sexy. Baysby coming out the woodworks. Boom. He's a bait. Yeah, that was all of them. That was all of them, Scotty. I mean, damn, I showed 12. I showed 12 of them. I can look for more. But yeah, I'm with Shake Money tonight, so make sure you check us out at 7. Make sure you hit that like button for me, please. How many likes we got right now? I hope that's not real because this one just said 3. I hope that's not real. If you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. I'm on with Shake tonight, so make sure you come check us out 7 o'clock. This guy says my 2 would be the throwback orange or the very first one. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that first one. If there was some white in it, maybe some white pants, I don't know. It's just too much for me. Don Shula, not Don Johnson was our coach. Hope you like the midget strippers. The blender will have them tonight. Batman had some dope alternative Vice City jersey looks. Can you ask what? But yeah, again, I apologize for the technical difficulties. Hopefully I'll have it figured out here as soon as possible. I'll be on the blender tonight with Shake Money, so make sure you come check that out 7 o'clock. I'm feeling under the weather. I'm about to go back to bed though. I appreciate you all stopping in. I love you all, and make sure you hit that like button for me before we bounce out of here. But thank you so much for sticking by me and dealing with the audio issues. And again, I'm embarrassed that it sounds like this, but I will get it fixed. And I'll talk to you soon. Check us out tonight on the blender. Shake Money. Till then, peace.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and
Expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression,
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they see me. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing